Yo, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another Raw review. You're probably wondering what the hell am I doing right now? I'm still on the high from what happened on Saturday, ladies and gents. That's right. In case you didn't see it, all the links will be in the description below on my vlog that I did. A little vlog that I did. All the link will be in the description below. My team are in the Premier League now. Team that I work for, many of you people may know me or whatever. I am a steward at Middlesbrough Football Club. And on Saturday, May 7th, I had the best day I've ever had as a steward at Middlesbrough Football Club. So, I'm still on the high on that one. You'll have to bear with me. But, as we all know, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Raw review. That's right. Raw review took place. Well, the Monday Night Raw took place. I should say, Raw review took place. What the fuck? Monday Night Raw took place on May 9th of this year. That's right, May 9th, 2016. And it was a very intriguing Raw, too, if you ask me. If you're seeing this right now and you're seeing any issues or anything, I do apologize. If there's any issues or anything like that, I'm doing the best I can. This is a live recording, if you will. So if there's any issues right now, I do apologize right now. I'm doing the best I can at the moment with what I've got to work with. So let's get right into it. A very intriguing Raw. It was okay. It wasn't the worst Raw I've seen. Trust me, I've seen worse. But it was strangely booked in a way, and I'll tell you the reason why. The headline match was Roman Reigns, Usos versus the now club AJ Styles, Carl Anderson, and Doc Gallows, or Luke Gallows, whatever he's calling himself now. That was not the main event. The main event was Big Cass and Chris Jericho, and that match didn't even take place because Dean Ambrose got involved. Now, I'll get to them two first. Get the main parts out the way. It was announced over the weekend via Twitter, I'm guessing, from what I remember, that the club were back together. And they're now calling themselves the club. They're missing one member, and he's still on NXT, apparently. Hopefully, he'll be up very, very soon. And, they got into an elimination match with the same three men that they've been feuding with the past 2 weeks on Raw and SmackDown, or the past week or so on Raw and SmackDown. But this one was an elimination match, and the club had the advantage because they got rid of the Usos, and then Reigns got rid of Gallows and Carl Anderson, and it came down to one-on-one. But the fight brew outside. Obviously, AJ wanted revenge for what happened last week when he got powerbombed through the table. But Anderson and Gallows stopped that from happening again because it was about to happen again if it wasn't for Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows hitting Reigns with the chair, and all hell broke loose. Interesting what's going to happen. What's going to happen at Extreme Rules next week, a week Sunday. Very interesting, considering the way this has been built up, and it's an Extreme Rules match. So basically, it's going to be a no DQ match, just like it turned out to be at the Payback pay-per-view. So, with that being said, that wasn't the way that ended Raw. The way that ended Raw was Big Cass and Chris Jericho. Okay? Big Cass, Chris Jericho. All this started from the highlight reel. Big Cass basically humiliated Chris Jericho on the highlight reel, and it was scheduled for a match with him later on. But as Chris came out and did the entrance, his traditional entrance, he got attacked by somebody. And when the guy came down, stood on the apron with the jacket on, it was revealed it was Dean Ambrose. And Dean Ambrose proceeded to destroy the coat. But not only did he destroy the coat, he beat up Chris Jericho here and there as well. Cass got involved. Ambrose hits Dirty D's. And proceeds to rip the coat apart, costing Jericho $15K. I can't imagine that match being other than an Extreme Rules match at Extreme Rules. But it's not over yet between Ambrose and Jericho, that I can assure you. The other matches that took place were Baron Corbin defeating Chris Jericho, defeating Dolph Ziggler. Sorry, I had Jericho on the man there. Defeating Dolph Ziggler, getting a little bit of payback for what happened on the Battle Royal last week to determine the #1 contender championship. Rusev will meet Kalisto at Extreme Rules. More on that later. $5 say he'll be on the pre-show. R-Truth beat Fandango, and this Thursday night on SmackDown, it's going to be Goldango against Gorgeous Truth. And if any of you guys are watching this right now, pulling your hair out, I don't blame you. I've got no hair to pull, only a little bit, but a little bit-ish anyway. But I hate this angle. I do, honest. Whatever this angle is. And what the hell was Truth wearing? That hair locks. Oh, God. Less said about this, the better. Ric Flair got banned from ringside during Charlotte's match with Paige. Although Natalya wasn't ringside. Ric Flair came down to ringside, didn't take too kindly to it. Shane came out, escorted him out the building. While that was taking place, Charlotte got beat. Question is, will she get beaten? That submission match at Extreme Rules, because that's what's going to be. Submission match. Natalya, Charlotte, Extreme Rules for the women's title. No Ric Flair, though. Thank God. A little confrontation backstage with Shane and Stephanie involving Cesaro, Miz, and Kevin Owens turned into what I predicted, ladies and gentlemen. What I said was going to happen. A possible fatal four-way match, but it was they made a triple threat match first, and then Sami came in and says, if you let me wrestle Miz and I beat Miz, you make this a fatal four-way, which he did, and he got the victory. So, like I predicted, ladies and gentlemen, it is now a fatal four-way at Extreme Rules. Miz, Kevin Owens, Cesaro, Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship. Just like I predicted, guys. Apologies for my phone there. But like I said, just like I predicted, it was going to be. And hopefully Sami will win that match, if not Cesaro, to be honest. Dana Brooke made a debut on Raw. Emma confronted Becky Lynch backstage, and she got a little help from Dana. So this new era of new opportunity, this new era of new opportunity is really kicking in because Dana's now on Raw. No doubt she'll probably still be on NXT here and there, but she's getting a debut. She's getting a break. Build up to the US Championship match. Saw Rusev lose to Sin Cara thanks to a little bit of help from, I'm guessing, Kalisto, but Sin Cara managed to get the victory, shocking Rusev in the process. Question is, will Kalisto get the victory at Extreme Rules? Because it's going to be Kalisto against Rusev at Extreme Rules, like I say, for the US Championship. Granted, it's not on the pre-show. So, like I said, can Kalisto beat him? It seems that they're going back to the old Rusev. With Lana coming out and, all right, he's not the Russian brute anymore. He's not, he doesn't sympathize Russia or anything like that like he used to. He's just a Bulgarian brute with his bride-to-be Lana. And it seems they're going back that way with him. It seems. Will they fully go that way? I don't know if they're fully going that way yet. Losing to Sin Cara doesn't help matters. But, yeah, it's interesting to see where they go with that. Zack Ryder got beat by Kevin Owens. This was because Zack Ryder wanted an opportunity, basically went to Shane McMahon looking for an opportunity to get back into the Intercontinental Championship picture. Kevin Owens came in running his mouth off, and Shane booked a match between Kevin Owens, Zack Ryder, which Kevin Owens beat and is still in the Fatal 4-Way. Thank God. I'm nothing on Zack, but You can't take Kevin Owens out of that. Don't get me wrong, Zack deserves an Intercontinental Championship match. There's not this way. Dudley's defeated the new champs, New Day, the tag team champions, New Day, I should say. I got that mixed up there. Dudley's beat New Day thanks to a little help from the Vaudevillains. The Vaudevillains come down and send a message to New Day for their tag team title match at Extreme Rules. Granted, it's not on the pre-show. Wouldn't surprise me, though. And then it was Dean Ambrose and the Chris Jericho situation. So, like I said, very intriguing Raw. And the reason why I say it was intriguing because, don't get me wrong, you know, Dean Ambrose, Chris Jericho situation, the Big Cass. I would have loved to have seen Big Cass get an opportunity in the main event. But it just didn't make sense to put that in the main event spot to close out the show. It was a good segment. But what they should have done was put the 6-man in there. Yeah, granted, they've had 6-man main events basically for the past week. You know, Raw and SmackDown. You know, they built it up on SmackDown. It wasn't scheduled to be on SmackDown, but they built it up towards, you know, the Usos and Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows getting a no contest, and then it changed into a 6-man. And then they did it again. Next time it was elimination now. So I would have put that as the main event. And I would have probably put the Chris Jericho Big Cass in. I don't know if I would have put it in that spot. I would have put it before it. That's why I would have done it. It just didn't look right. A big 6-man main event, 6-man elimination main event in that position. It just didn't look right. It just didn't make sense. All in all, it was a good Raw. I thought it was okay. And yeah, I'll give it a 6 out of 5. That's the best I can do on that one. 6 out of 10, rather. Sorry. And yeah, 3 out of 5 on that one. It's getting good, Raw. It's getting really interesting. It was just, I would have had the 6-man in the main event spot instead of the Dean Ambrose situation. Although it was fun to see Dean Ambrose, it's always fun to see Dean Ambrose raise hell and get one over on Jericho because Jericho thought he wasn't coming. Boom, he does that in a very intriguing way, though. You know, costing Jericho basically $15K for that. I'm guessing now Jericho will have to come out on his entrance now without that jacket. That's just my take on that one. I don't know. He might go out and get another one, probably. But, yeah. I think Raw was the end of the lights coat that Jericho has. I might be wrong. We'll have to wait and see. But all in all, 6 out of 10, 3 out of 5 in terms of ratings. And if you didn't see this video, guys, don't worry. It's going up on the channel. So, and the audio will be played on the episode 111 of the Wrestling Matters podcast, which comes up this weekend. And I will go into details about a question that I got asked during the week on Twitter by somebody. So, you know, it's about, will wrestling ever be respected? So look out for that. I'll answer that this coming week on the podcast. Check out all the stuff on the Wrestling Matters channel for weekly podcasts, weekly reviews like this as well, and other stuff as well. All to do with the world of professional wrestling. Be sure to subscribe to the channel because that's the only way you get to keep up to date with everything that goes on the channel. Also, check out my games channel as well. I've done a little series celebrating the fact that Kurt Angle is going to ICW. That's right. You heard me correct. Kurt Angle will wrestle in ICW on November 20th at Fear and Loathing. I can't believe I just said that sentence. But I did a little series on my games channel, which kicked off yesterday in celebration of that as well. So give you some ideas of who he could wrestle in there. It's all on WWE 2K16 as well. So be sure to check that out as well in the description below. Also, check out my vlog as well on the Boro. Yes. Like I said, I'm still on a high from it. My boys, my team is back where they belong after 7 years away. And I'm still on a high from it. It was the greatest day ever. Best day I've had in going on 4 years as a steward. And yeah, subscribe to my games channel. Subscribe to this. Like, share, subscribe. If you for more information, go to my Facebook page, facebook.com/WM podcast. Like, share, subscribe on the games channel as well. Facebook.com/Games Matter channel, at WM podcast on Twitter, at Tony_Walker as well. Be sure to check all that out. That's the WM podcast. It's for the podcast as well. So just to clarify that. You want to ask me questions, you want to hang out, you want to talk to me, feel free to do so. And with that being said, guys, that about wraps it up for this video. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Like I said, like, share, and subscribe. It'll be greatly appreciated. And until next time, guys, peace out.